Hello, and welcome to another segment of CHTS. Today is a special Cold War edition. What was the Cold War? The Cold War was a war between the Western superpowers and the Eastern superpowers. America versus Russia. Today we have a special guest coming in, the alleged spark of the Cold War, Mr. Igor Gluzenko. Thank you for coming on our show today, Igor. I'm sure our audience appreciates it.
Oh, it's no problem. I'm happy to be here.
Let's jump right into the questions. When were you born?
I was born on January 13th, 1919. My family was from the Ukraine. We lived in the village of Rogachovo, 100 kilometers northwest of Moscow.
Why did you defect to the Canadian side?
I defected to the Canadian side because my family had been threatened to be sent back to the Soviet Union, which meant they would have to go back to Russia, as would I. I didn't like and didn't agree with the politics there, so I knew defecting to the Canadian side was my only option.
Why did you hide your identity?
I decided to hide my face from the public because I wanted to protect my identity from becoming known.
Once you were in Ottawa, who did you work for?
Once I was in Ottawa, I was working for the Soviet military intelligence. A lot of my work required me to handle highly sensitive information.
What is your family like?
As I said before, I was raised in a Ukrainian family near Moscow. After my betrayal of the Soviet Union, my wife Svetlana and I moved to Clarkson, and there the two of us raised 8 beautiful children.
How do you think you affected the Cold War?
Personally, I thought I was doing a good thing to protect innocent Canadians, but many historians have said that my defection to the Canadian side triggered the Cold War.
No. What was your relationship with Mackenzie King?
Well, when I had gone to the RCMP to give them secret information about the Soviet spies, King wanted nothing to do with me. King believed he could come up with a better solution that could protect Canada while still keeping close bonds with the Soviet Union. King and I had a bit of a rough relationship, specifically after I went against his wishes and gave the secret files to the Justice Minister, Louis Saint Laurent.
What did you do after you retired from being a spy?
Great question. I decided after my spying days were over that I would settle down and write books. I wrote 2 books, the first being This Was My Choice, which told the story of my defection. The second was The Fall of a Titan, which even won the Governor General's Award in 1954. In fact, I even appeared on some television shows to promote my books, of course, wearing my hood in each appearance.
Boy, was that an information overload. Thank you, Igor, for coming by and answering all of our questions. Tune in next week when we discuss pop culture in the 1950s. We'll be interviewing famous rock icon Elvis.